Thank you for all those who came out, and welcome to our We Do Recover 5th annual walk. Short-term memory loss. See what happened to drugs. My name is Lenny.
We do recover.
I wear many hats in the community. Many of you guys see me at the YMCA. Many of you see me riding around the orange truck, water sewer truck. I'm also on the Lynners committee, but I'm also a recovering addict, and I have no shame about this. And the whole goal, and the whole reason behind the We Do Recover Walk is that we hear so much talk about all the drugs, all the problems, all the chaos that's in Lynn, but no one talks about all the recovery and the resources that are available. You know, they want to blame elected officials and everybody for all issues that are going on, but it's a bigger problem. It's something that we all have to work together. We have to work collaboratively, and we have to, have these conversations because people's lives do get affected. But no one talks about all the all the recovery, all the resources, all the good. There's people with decades of recovery in Lynn, and it's all available and it's free, man. And that's why that conversation started up. Like, why are we keeping this big? That we have something that saves lives. Why are we having this big secret? But you know what? I want to just share the resources, and that's the whole thing about the walk. It's like getting rid of the stigma. People do recover. You can grab the biggest dummy and make them a productive member of society. And that's good, man. But also, I want to just start off a little bit. I just want to introduce some of the dignitaries that are here and elected officials. I'm going to start off with my very dear friend, who was my landlord at one time. Many of you guys probably dealt with him. Hey, but not to say nothing. Listen, ever since Sheriff Coppinger has taken office, he's also tried to look at addiction as a really medical problem. We've never seen that kind of help that's available today. They have the STAR program, the reentry program, and they're doing a lot of stuff in the community. And I couldn't be more proud to call some of my friends at Sheriff Coppinger. We also have candidates. I'm in her stomping ground, and I better just please pick up after yourself. Please, she's gonna yell at me later on. Yeah. I'd like to introduce Ward 4 Councilor Natasha Medina. This is her ward, so if you got an issue around here, call her. Don't call me. That's for my Latino people. I get calls for everything. I'm on the school committee. I get calls for sidewalks, crack, everything. That's okay. I like to, connect the dots. Also, we have some candidates running for Congress. We have John Becker. We also have a good friend running for Congress, also Dan Coe. I have a couple of words. It's important. These are people that are running for office that are going to represent you, that are going to fight for things that we need, especially like funding for the opioid epidemic. Things like that. Funding for child education. I see a lot of mothers. Without further ado, I have the sheriff to say a few words.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. First of all, let's give Lenny a round of applause. The joke's about, I used to be his landlord. We have a good past, but a special thank you to all of you. You see what addiction is. I was a cop in Lynn for 32 years. To be honest with you, I'll profile myself. Years ago, I was one of those guys who thought every addict, pardon the expression, was an asshole and just useless. And you get a little older, you get a little wiser, and you see, but for the grace of God, this could be anybody, anywhere. I don't care where you live or what you do for a living or what color your skin is or any of that stuff. It does not discriminate. And what we've seen in the jail is, like Lenny said, we look at it, what's the reason you're in jail? A lot of it is because of addiction and mental health. We're talking addiction here today. And then we got to fix the problem. So we've done a lot in the jail. We have seen our recidivism rate, which means how many people come back to jail. We have seen that drop substantially. Right now it's 13.5%. That is the number one lowest recidivism rate in the state of Massachusetts for county sheriffs. And I can stand here in front of you as the sheriff and say it's all us. It's not. It's the partnership. It's the community. It's what you do. And all the social service agencies, the DA's office, the local police department. Everybody's finally looking at it at one issue and how do we fix it. And Lenny mentioned, the STAR program down here, 30 Central Avenue, 6th floor. It's open to anybody. Come in. You don't have to be in the criminal justice system. If you need help with addiction or mental illness, stop in. If we can't help you directly, we have a whole team of referrals. We can get you to the sources, get your loved ones there. Get them the care that they need so our recidivism rate comes back down even more. And if you look at the recidivism rate with some of those in jail and with the STAR program, 7%, we're saving lives. And the last thing I'll say, giving everybody credit again, if you've seen in the paper the last few weeks, here in Massachusetts in 2025, the overdose rate was dropped 26%. That is amazing. We're saving lives, all our partners are saving lives, and we're leading the country. We're double the reduction rate of the rest of the country. So my hat's off to you, Lenny. I can't say enough of what you did.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you so much. And by the way, folks, I apologize.
Yes.
I can't stay for the walk. I'm wearing pink for a reason. I'm going to be a grandfather.
First time.
My daughter-in-law's shower is moving, so as much as I don't really want to go to a shower, I admit, but I got to run, so that's why I'm just going to do a quick hit here. But I didn't want to not leave without saying hi to everybody. And a big thank you to each and every one of you.
Thank you,
so
Sheriff.
much.
Thank you. And I'd be remiss not to mention the Recovery Exchange. Right, where's Kim? Kim. Recovery Exchange over there on Exchange Street. They have a lot of resources, and they do a lot of stuff in the community. Addicts can go over there, get some education, learn how to practice applications, resume, all that. You can hang out all day, get your ass out of trouble, and you'll be informed. And she runs a lot of meetings. So thank you, Kim.
Hey, Kim.
I want to shout out my guy Blake Media. Where you at? He's out. He probably got the drone somewhere. Blake, where you at? Shout out to my guy Blake. Thank you. Okay, I just seen my guy roll up real quick. This is my man right here. Come here, Sean.
There he is.
This is my former colleague on the school committee, and right now your state representative, Sean Reed, and he's a brand new guy. Woo! And Sean's one of those guys that fights for things that we advocate for. So go ahead.
Thank you, Lenny. Thanks so much. It's great to be here with you all today. Obviously, on the issue of substance use, I always say, we have a lot of challenges in Massachusetts and the country. This is the one that is the most complicated, because even if we had all the money and all the resources in the world, we couldn't snap our fingers and fix this one. But we're working every day. Hi, Sheriff. We have great partners, Sheriff and Tokyo, people like Lenny, Recovery Exchange. Lynn is doing so much work around this issue, and we take it very serious. We're very fortunate to have leaders who care about this issue and are trying to break the stigma on the issue. Myself, both my parents suffered from addiction. I lost a brother to an overdose, so it's near and dear to my heart. And I'm on the Mental Health and Substance Use Committee at the state, where we do a lot of work. We've passed a lot of good legislation over the last couple of years, again, to try to move forward the issue of substance use. And we've made a lot of progress. I heard you right when I walked in on the stat that we've cut our overdoses by a quarter in this state. It's something we should be really proud of. And you also see it happening across the country, not just in Massachusetts. So the issue and the tide is changing, but thank you, Lenny, and we need more stuff like this and more resources, and that's what we're always fighting for. So.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you. State Representative Sean Reed. Next, we're going to hear from John Bishop. Candidate for Congress.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everyone for being here. It's really a pleasure to be here, a part of this great event. And I thank leaders like Lenny and Antonio and everybody here who are part of this community. It takes a village. And so the reason I'm running for Congress is simple. It's to help people. And I feel like government officials and politicians have forgotten that it's public service, and we're here to actually help people that are most vulnerable, the people who need it most. And I've been very blessed in my life. It's time to give back. It's time to help. Everybody wants the same thing. We want a good life. We want a good job. We want education. We want health care. Well, we need to do the work. And that's why we're all around visiting folks. It's unbelievable the work that we do here, not only in this organization, but groups like My Brother's Table, groups like the Haver Project, and like many of you, we've all had people who've suffered from addiction, families, friends, and we know it's a struggle. We know it's hard to get over that, but we have to help lift people up and get people back on our feet. It takes a village, and it's more than just money, it's more than just resources, it's programs around education, training, and race. I'm in this race to lift people up, create opportunity. Because my campaign is about opportunity and hope. And without opportunity, there is no hope. So I love to see this. We need to rebuild our sense of community that we've lost. We need to rebuild our sense of decency and working together as a community. And so this is so great to see. And that's what I want to do if I'm lucky enough to represent you in Congress. So thanks a lot for being here. And
Thank you. Okay. Next we have candidate for Congress also, Dan Cole.
Have another round of applause for Lenny.
My name is Dan Cole. I'm also a candidate for Congress. But more importantly today, we're here to send a very clear message to the people who like to give up on our friends, to the people who like to defund the things that are working, to deliver and give people a second chance, that instead of hate, we choose love. Instead of giving up on people, we invest in people. And instead of sleeping in on a Saturday, we're here to boldly say that we will always take care of our neighbors. We will always back the people like Lenny and like the sheriff and the representative who are doing the work every day. Because when we invest in people and we give them second chances, that is how people thrive. I'm very fortunate to have worked for a man who got that second chance, Marty Walsh, the former mayor of Boston, Secretary of Labor. Give him a round of applause. He had a dark moment in his 20s. People could have given up on him, and many people did. But because of recovery, because of AA, he became mayor of the city that he was born in. He became Secretary of Labor, and he never forgot where he came from. I remember going into his office during big meetings, and he'd be in the back talking to someone from his AA group that was thinking about drinking again and making sure that they got the help that they needed. And so we all have people in our lives who got that second chance. And it's all up to us to make sure that we are there for those people who need it. We reach out a helping hand. That for so many reasons to lose hope right now, it is now time for us to deliver that hope. Despite so many reasons to feel down about our society, about our politics, now is the time to double down. And when we see amazing work done in the community here, when we see the work that Sheriff Coppinger has done, we see the work that Representative Reed has done in the legislature, that gives us hope. So let's all continue to stay in this fight, take care of our neighbors, give those second chances, and we will make sure to continue to deliver and give faith to all of us. Thank you very much.
And gotta send a huge shout out to my guy, Antonio from Lysoa. Get the big guy aside. Extra small. I gotta introduce one of my very good friends growing up. This guy's always been all about Lynn. When I was a teenager, this guy was organized and we didn't understand what he was doing. Now I get the big picture. He's all about the city of Lynn, and this guy works hard all the time. I love this guy. I look up to everything he does. Your Ward 6 councilor. Ward 6 councilor, Fred Hogan. Now, this guy I look up to. Not because I know he's like way taller. He's like the biggest counselor ever. No, but this kid is amazing. I seen the work he was doing. He's been organizing a Christmas parade in the city of Lynn. If you guys seen that, this guy's been behind that for the last few years, and he's just amazing. He's a young, bright guy. I watched some of his council meetings, and my jaw just drops when just listening to him. And without any further discussion, Ward 7 councilor Jordan Avery. Also, want to give a huge shout out, my guy Drew Russo over there. Woo! Grab a water real quick. We're about to start right now, please. right, open it up when you hit the street. Sometimes I gotta go around the corner. Yes. Yes. If I go around the corner, I'm taking it. But if I'm across all the street, I follow out the street, right? My side better. Lynners, I'll see you down at the bottom.
Not really. I found out way more dangerous stairs than these ones. You're in a bike up here. Usually in a parking lot. Nonchalantly trying to.
Where we going? We're going this way?
Going left?
Oh, we're going to the left. But that's, what are we doing? We should go to the
You paid for it.
Yes, absolutely.
Go!
Bring the banner down. Ándale, ándale.
All right. Wait.
We get a picture. When are you winning? You guys are flip off right now as soon as I get the seat to this guy. All right, ready?
Make sure it says Central Square, otherwise we're drunk on
Slow down a little bit so we can catch up to them. So they can catch up.
Just say no!
Just say no!
Just say no!
Just say no!
Lynn says no!
Lynn says no!
Lynn says no!
Somebody needs to help her out. Hang on, yeah, slow down. When you get to the corner, stop. When you get to the corner, stop. They're gonna stop and wait for everybody.
Lynn says no! Lynn says no! Lynn says no!
We're gonna stop.
Lynn says no! Lynn says no! Lynn says no! Lynn says no! Ready to go, everybody in the back of the Lynn says no! Lynn says no! Come on, everybody! With the Mexico step! Lynn says no! Lynn says no! Lynn says no! Lynn says no! Just say no! Lynn says 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 no! Just say 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 no!
She actually gonna do one with her son.
Whoa. Is that Spanish?
Just say no!
No! Just say 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 no!
I can't move anymore. Bounce off the pad.
All right. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Of course we are. We're always fine.
Just say no!
What else do you have going on today?
Good! How's the baby? No!
Lynn said no!
Just say no!
Just say no!
Just say no!
Just say no! Lynn says 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 no!
No to drugs! No to drugs!
No to drugs! No to drugs! Just say no! There you go!
Yeah, I'll be interested to see it.
Lynn says no. No to drugs. Lynn says no.
I wear many hats. I work for the Lynn Water and Sewer. I work for the, I volunteer and work around here in the YMCA. I'm also on the school committee, but I'm also a recovering addict. And I advocate for a lot of, meetings and et cetera all throughout the city. So when I had that kind of platform, I kind of wanted to raise my voice on there. So my thing is, they talk about all this stuff, all this negative stuff about Lynn and all the drugs, but no one talks about the recovery that's in the city of Lynn. There's people with many, there's so many resources And when the Mayor Nicholson got elected, that floodgates opened up, and we started seeing more resources. And the more we had these conversations, you see the STAR program, the reentry program for the sheriff. We heard from him earlier, so there's more resources available. And you can see the statistics. You know, overdose rates have dropped in Massachusetts, you know, drastically. And we're leading the charge in that. And that's because we're starting to have conversations about this. It's like we have something that saves lives. Like, let's share it. Let's talk about it. So no one, you know, everyone wants to shed light on the bad stuff. I want to shed light on all the good stuff, all the resources. There's a lot of help available. You'll see some tables out. We got the City of Lynn Public Health. They have a lot of tons of resources. And I'm just going to thank a few of our sponsors. There's a lot of sponsors. Just be brief with me. And we have some speakers set up today, but we're going to move the agenda up because our dignitaries and elected officials that came here, they have other events they have to attend to. So just going to quickly talk about our sponsors. We have Old Neighborhood. You know, DeMarcus Brothers, they do a lot of stuff throughout the city. Give them a shout. The wonderful food was cooked and brought over by Brothers Deli. Okay? Want to thank Charlie Gator, Lynn Housing Authority. Jim Caldell, congratulations on his retirement in the EDIC team. Mayor Nicholson, as always, his continued support. Ward 3 Councilor Coco Allison, Hong Net, Councilor at Large, Obed Matul, Ward 2 Councilor Pete Meany, Ward 1 Councilor Natasha Madri. Where is she? She's somewhere. Ward 4 Councilor, she's president. Guys, pay attention to those who are here to support you. Hong Net, I mentioned Hong Net, okay? Ward 7 Councilor Jordan Avery, okay? Brian Field. We have Kylie Spires, Ward 5 Councilor, right here. My colleague on the school committee, she couldn't be here. She has other things to attend, Brenda Ortiz McGrath. And also my brother on the school committee, Trisha Smith. Our prayers go out to him. They had a loss in the family, and you know, our hearts go out to them. Want to shout out Caribbean Auto, who's they always support us, and they have 30 years of experience and you know, doing a lot of good body work on Alley Street over there. We want to thank Típico. Some of you had that little rice, the Spanish arroz con guandul, pastelito from Típico. The empanadas, you know, the good food. Yes. I want to thank my good friend Victor, who just got acknowledged, Victor Ferrer and the Community Credit Union. They always support us. Our great attorney from the school, Howard Greenspan, and the city attorney, Sam Vitale. Also want to thank Representative Dan Cahill, Sean Reed, who was here earlier. We also have a few candidates. Oh, and also I want to recognize Representative Dan Cahill. He couldn't be here, but Dan's always a big supporter, Lawak. And Senator Brendan Crichton. He couldn't show up, but Brendan sends his regards. We also have John Betcher here running for Congress. Betcher. And we saw earlier Dan Cole. I'm not sure he's not here, but he had other events he had to go. Dan Cole, give him a huge shout out to him. And also, if you got some waters, we got it from the Reading Cooperative Bank. So the YMCA has a special place in my heart for me. You know, my journey started here at the YMCA. There's some rooms across over there, and I remember I was asked out. I had nowhere to go. Yeah, I was in the bitter ends, and I had burnt all my bridges. And there was a young lady working here, and she saw me, and she said, "What the hell's going on?" I said, "Hey, I got kicked out of the program." You know, and she's like, "What?" She was so mad at me, but she wanted to give me a chance. And she said, "I'll give you a chance." And I showed up with my money, and that's when my journey started. The YMCA grew me to be the person I am today. You know, I started volunteering, helping the kids out. They trusted me. I got huge in the weights. I don't do the weights anymore. A little older. But yeah, it built some character in me. It showed me the work of the community. And the Y does a lot of community service. We have an award that we present every year. It's called the Gabriel T. Award. Gabriel T. is one of the guys that I first met that was laying this foundation of recovery. Later on, you're going to hear from guys like Randy C., who was with Gabriel Taylor in 1991, where the first meeting started here in the Y. And there's another men's meeting that still happens here at the Y that they started back in 1991. I was still off the Magic Dragon back then, but it's meaningful. And to this year's recipient is someone who's not part of our community, but through compassion and understanding and practicing empathy, they kind of understand and really opened doors for us. And that was really noted to me during the pandemic. We didn't have places to go. When they first started opening spaces, like 6 feet apart, the YMCA was the first place that said, yeah, you can bring a meeting here. And that started with a Wednesday group. Now you have a group there's 2 on Sundays, there's a group on Friday night, there's a group on Wednesday, there's a group on Tuesdays, there's a group on Thursday night. Like, you can get some help, and it's here at the Y, it's free. So if you don't even have to struggle, if you know someone that has an issue, send them on down. And this year we had a little issue. It was a new change in leadership, and we have something called the Knockathon. And Knockathon is a marathon meeting that happens on Thanksgiving and Christmas and also New Year's Eve. And those meetings are so profound because that's one of the highest rates where someone could really commit suicide or make a bad decision, because that's what all the emotions are running wild. But there's something also weird about that a lot of people find their hope there. Like, I know this couple that met at a knockathon. They met at a knockathon, and these people have been clean for 17 years. They built a life, they have a home, a business. I know so many. And we couldn't have that meeting, and someone said, well, you better call Kathleen. And I said, oh, Jesus, I didn't want to have to call her, and I called her. And the middle of the night, she's like, what's up? And I was like, Kathy, we usually do a knockathon, but, we can't have it. There was a change in leadership, and no one really contacted anybody. And she said, yeah, tell me, what's it about? And I know she knows, because, nothing happens around here, they don't tell her. But she just wanted to know a little more detail about it. And without hesitation, she's like, yeah, as long as you're going to be there, I trust you. And everything I ask her, when it comes to do this, comes to like working with addicts, opening doors, she's always there. So this year, we're going to move things up a little, quickly. I'd like to present the Gabriel T. Award to Kathleen Walsh. Say a couple words?
Sure. First of all, congratulations to everyone in recovery. It's truly amazing. When Lenny told me I was going to be honored at this event, my first question was, why? And upon reflection, the only reason why I stand in front of you is because I have the ability to say yes. And I would challenge everybody, no matter what role you have, to say yes to others, whether that's yes to helping them put an air conditioner in, or yes to needing $10, or yes to needing a ride. Because if we all do that and we scale yes, I think our communities will continue to be a better place. So it's my privilege to be able to say yes to Lenny over and over again, and you don't have to be afraid to call me. And yes to being a solution for anyone in recovery or anyone that needs any component of what we do here at the YMCA. Shameless plug, no one's turned away for anything at the YMCA for inability to pay. Last year we provided a little over $3 million in programs and services because we want the community to be stronger and better. So if you know somebody that needs the Y, don't hesitate to ask. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for giving up your Saturdays. Congratulations again. Keep up the great work.
All right. Also, I just want to shout out this year's speaker. Our main speaker is Randy Commodore. Sorry, Randy C. Randy C. has over 3 decades of continuous recovery, and the reason Kathleen, come here, stay here, because you're going to get a citation from these wonderful people here. And I want to acknowledge my colleague on the school committee, Lorraine Gately, right here. Please give a shout out. Love you, Lorraine. And I'm sorry, I'm a little, unorganized. I want to shout out Antonio from Lysaw, my man Derek over here. I want to thank my wife, my family, God, those who love me, those who believed in me. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for help. I want to thank my son, Gio, and his girlfriend, Sarah. They really helped me out. My wife couldn't be here. My wife usually organizes all this, but she's in Providence with my son. He's playing the championship football game. I got blessed with these kids that are amazing at football. They cost me so much money. You know what? I wouldn't trade this life for any other life. So I'm going to let the mayor do his citation and all that, and then we'll start our program.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Lenny. It is so great to be here with all of you. Thank you all for turning out. Thank you to the YMCA for hosting us. And a huge thank you to Lenny Pena for his leadership. Congratulations, Lenny, for all that you do here today with the Recover Walk on the school committee and the community. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
This is such an important issue to do events like this, to raise awareness and also to combat stigma. And so I really appreciate you all taking the time to share your support. Your presence means a lot, and we're happy to be able to do this and show support and say loud and clear so everybody can hear and see that in Lynn, we do recover.
Yes.
And I just want to echo what Member Pena, which I call him in the school committee context, but we can call him Lenny here, said about these distinguished honorees. Thank you so much, Kathleen, for your leadership and for your support of the recovery community. We appreciate you. And Randy C., 3 decades is quite an accomplishment of extraordinary leadership and advocacy for the recovery community. On behalf of the city of Lynn, congratulations.
Randy!
I love you, Randy.
Yes, you do!
Yes, sir.
I hate this shit.
So,
I love him.
the Office of the Lynn City Council offers their sincerest congratulations to Randy Centino in recognition of your over 3 decades of extraordinary service, leadership, and advocacy for the recovery community, and congratulations. The Lynn City Council acknowledges your accomplishments, dedication to the community, and overall excellence serves as an inspiration for all to follow. On behalf of our grateful and proud city, we bestow with you this official citation. I would also just like to add, as a new member of the City Council, and particularly one in Ward 5, there are multiple days that I get calls about, people who are in the recovery stages or are out in the streets that are causing problems for the community. And oftentimes people will get to a point where they're just kind of tired and they're like, I live alone, I'm a single mother, or my residents really just are at an means end. And one thing that I'm really proud of for the city is that we look at it from a holistic level. It's, as easy as you can say, like, hey, we'll just go and scoop people up and put them in prison cells or whatever. That's never the solution. It's about the emotional stability and really getting people the resources that they need. And I'm really excited to have people like you all who are within that fight and are working towards it every day.
Hey, Ari. Thank you. Hey, shout out to Council President Coco Alisa. Hi,
I'm Joey and I'm an addict. Listen, it's like I'm on tour because I cheered the meeting the other night, then I cheered the meeting last night, and here I am here, Kathleen, I don't even know if you're in the room, but thank you, I appreciate you. I do, I know you don't know me, but for you to do the things that you do here at the Y, you know, you really appreciate it.
Yes.
You know, because like, I say it all the time, like I got high behind the Y, I slept behind the Y. I did a lot of things in this city that, you know, that I'm not proud of. But you know, when we were up the hill, I heard a young lady say, you know, like, I didn't get clean to be miserable. You know, and I'm not miserable. I have a beautiful life because of NA. NA gave me a life that I thought I could never have. You know, and people in this room loved me when I couldn't love myself. You know, and people in this room told me, Joey, you're gonna be okay. You know, when my mother passed away, the same thing. You know, people in this room were there for me. They text me, they called me up. You know, I got two brothers and a sister. Their last initial is C. Mine's S. But that's okay. You know, he said Joey C. It's Joey S. However, you know, like that's another thing. That however word, you know, like Robin. When I was in the crying house the first time in November 4th of '98, I went there. I'll never forget it. I got released from the House of Correction, and Robin said to me, Joey, everything after Bud is bullshit. So that's why I say however, you know, because however, like my life has dramatically changed so much in this last 8 years. You know, like just going to meetings, just going and seeing people step up that don't even have to step up, to stay at the knockathon all night long, pass out the food, do this, make sure there's other food put back on the table. You know, that's a beautiful thing. What's going on here today is a beautiful thing, you know. I didn't come last year, but the year before that I came in, I was with my dog, you know what I'm saying? And like, it was amazing. There were so many people. Not that there ain't a lot of people today, but you know, like, I love the city of Lynn. I do. You know, the sheriff, okay, I remember when he was a beat cop. I remember when he ran the street, you know what I'm saying? I remember, you know, when he threw me in the back seat of that car, you know, and like, and give me a ride at Glen Woods. You know, I remember that stuff. The only reason why I remember it because I'm clean, you know, everything's starting to come back. My whole life is starting to like, I'm starting to see all the things that I did, you know. And I have to say, you know, God is my higher savior. I mean, my higher power, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You know, He saved me. Because I have a picture on my phone. If you look at me in the picture of my phone, I'm like 140 pounds. My skin's gray. I got all these sores on my face from picking my face. You know, and like it's a picture from the jail. You know, I never want to look like that again, ever. You know, and I'll end with this: as long as you sit in these seats, you come in these seats and you sit down, you have open mind, you will get a better life. It might get a little worse at first because you're in a halfway house, because you're in a sober house, whatever, but it will get better, you know. And I always say that I'll end with this, but you know, there's one more thing I have to say about this program. Someone in this room pulled me to the side because I can't read and write, right? And I'm gonna be 62 next month because I'm lazy, you know. I don't want to go back to school, whatever. They don't have that resource here. If English was a second language, they can teach you how to read and write in Lynn. But if it's not your second language, they can't teach you. There used to be bootstrap and stuff like that. However, but people in this room, someone took me, sat me in their car when it was COVID, and they read all the questions to get my permit, and I got my permit, you know. And then someone in this room took me to go get my license, and I got my license, you know what I'm saying? And now, like, I don't wear the same sneakers for 2 years like I did when I was out there. You know, like, I have a beautiful life, you know? And my second sponsor when I got here, he told me, Joe, don't be a parrot. Do your program. Don't do somebody else's program, do your program. You know, and like, we had a little falling out, and I'm gonna get a little emotional, but you know, like, I love this guy, and like, sometimes I don't understand why I'm so combative with other people. I'm Joey, and I'm out.
Terry that's here, who always takes the time to come out. Our chief, Chris Red. On the Chief Reddy's watch, they have a behavior unit. There's a whole bunch of resources that they have. And they're looking at addiction in a different way than it was 20, 30 years ago, you know. I have I share one of my stories when I was a young guy out there at Chester Street. They were selling 20s and 40s, and someone called my name. Someone called, Lenny! And I went out there because I had my stuff in I couldn't trust my buddy with it, and I looked, and my peripheral vision, and it was Chief Freddie, he was a beat cop, there's another guy who was like, I took off, and he couldn't catch me, but he told me, it's gonna be a long summer. But today I'm gonna make the Chief no more. I run to him, you know, and I want to thank you, thank you. It takes common sense, community engagement, and knowing what it's like to be in this lit community to be the Chief of Police. Thank you. Thank you guys. My next speaker has been my guy from day one. Everything I've done, I know I look back, I get memory pictures. This guy's been there since day one, even before I got this. He tells me stories that I used to talk to him outside drunk at the shelter. I don't remember none of it. He goes, yeah, you were drunk. You talk. I was like, I don't remember talking to you. I must have been high as a kite, but he's been my day one guy, and he has a great message. Blake.
Blake. Thank you, Lynn. So I'm also a product of Narcotics Anonymous. I'm also a product of Be God. And that's the basis on whom I sprang from. And Lenny joined me about 2 years ago. He asked me, Blake, I want to go on one trip. So we ended up in Los Angeles. And he kept saying, I can't believe this is happening. This is a part of my journey because my mother died December 8th of 2020, and I laid next to her dead body and took a screenshot as I looked at plaques on the wall and said, I'm going to continue your work. She worked in shelters and drop-in centers all throughout Boston, Mass. And it was a touching moment for me, and so to this day, when I get tired of what I'm doing or it seems like it's not going right, I remember that screenshot I took of her lifeless body. And that's part of my social makeup, which means I say that wherever I show up at because it's part of who I am. And these things that I used to do, continue to do, I do a lot of street interviews. I was recently in New York, this will hit home, and the woman says to me, Massachusetts has a lot going on for addicts, for people in recovery. I says, how do you know that? She says, because I pay attention to Massachusetts. She's in Florida. She just come back from Texas. And she says it's very different from what's happening in Massachusetts. And she said, I watched what you were doing. You were interviewing people about recovery. You were asking these gotcha moment questions. She started laughing. So she said, I'd like to talk to you. She told me her personal story about all the death and destruction in her family as a result of drug use, as a result of prison, 100 years, 200, all of this stuff. And I says, how does it affect you? She said, I carry it with me. So it became a personal relationship with respect to the identity. So more importantly, or maybe even connected to it, it's like, what do you do when you find yourself in that hole? You think there's no one there that can pull you out, help pull you out of the hole. What do? You pray to God. You ask God for that moment. You ask God for that. I've been clean out for 23 years. I recently turned 61 years old, and I get up and go. When things need to get done, I get it done. Why? Because I've been blessed with the ability to do it. And for those of you that like to give up on yourself and second guess yourself, stop. That's the worst thing we can do is second guess ourselves. We're always beating ourselves up behind not looking a certain way. For who? Look your way for God. Look your way for God and leave it at that. Stop carrying somebody else's thoughts about you. That's a sickness that I hear so much. I work in the recovery community. And it's like events are events. It has nothing to do with outreach. I'm a hardcore outreach person. Hardcore. If you're sick, you're where I need to be. Not looking good in a three-piece suit, taking pictures. That has its place. But those people that need our help are out there. Not only in Lynn. I was in Atlanta. I was in Seattle. I was in Skid Row. I was in San Diego. In Florida. Here in Boston. Philadelphia a few times. And a few other places. I've been these places. And I'm going back to some of them. You know why? Because I want to see what's happening. Has it changed? And many of these places I've been to, many of those same people said they want to get to Massachusetts. And I'm like, damn, we must have something special going on in Massachusetts. And I come to see that we do. And it takes people like you who don't think that they have any worth. It takes people like you to see zero value in themselves to do something and to connect those dots by showing up. You don't have to say anything. Your presence speaks for itself. Show up, but remember, above all of that there's this God, this omniscient being that's always there, manifesting in ways we sometimes don't even know. And we begin to question it because it's not what we want it to be. It ain't about you. It's about the bigger picture. So thank you again, Lenny, for asking me to come. And I have to say this funny moment. I'm gonna get you gotcha moment. It was about 19 years ago. I was in a Ryan house, and every time we walked to Dunkin' Donuts, there was a Latino cat like, yo, my dude. Yes. Lenny was singling me out. I'm like, oh, here comes this dude again. I walked through a crowd of people, and he would grab me and start talking. You know, alcohol, you know, drink, whoosh, it's strong. But you know what, though? I appreciate that moment. I appreciate the moment. I remind you because it's a remember when. And there's nobody in here that don't have a remember when. And if you think you don't, somebody lied to you. Word. Thank you.
Thank you, Blake. I want to look that good when I'm your age.
Right.
I'm just saying.
That's the God, man. That's the God.
Yeah. So, without further ado, our main speaker, and this guy, he rubbed elbows with Gabe T. He's one of those founders of our recovery community. He's been doing this for 35 plus years. Love this guy. He's the only guy, big biker guy, used to come up to look at me and give me a hug and give me a kiss. That fucked me up. He showed me some love, man. I remember a few years ago, I was feeling down out, you know, because my disease is always active. You know, that's why, you know, no matter what, my disease is always working against me. And I was down and out, you know, feeling the feeling. And he goes, what's going on? I said, man, I feel like this. And he goes, it's not how you feeling, man, it's how you living. I said, you motherfucking right. Because I got something that's always trying to tell me, I got you. Don't forget. Nah, not today. Randy C. Come on.
I'm an addict when he was Randy.
Hey, Randy, I love you.
Joey come up and said, I can't believe we got you to do this. He lied to me. He said something about this award, and first of all, he called me a couple weeks ago and he said, will you present the Gabriel T. Award? And I'm like, absolutely, I'll do that. Then he calls me Tuesday and says, we want to give you an award. I'm like, Lenny,
Don't do it.
you know I don't do that shit, right? Come on, man, blah, blah, blah. And then I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to take this award, but I'm going to tell the truth. The truth is, I'm one guy in a huge community that does this. Right? I heard this morning, and this young kid said, I spent most of my time in recovery trying to be a rescue boat. And somebody told me, just be a lighthouse. He asked the guy, what does that mean? He said, be a navigational aid. Stop trying to rescue everybody, right? So, I try to be a navigational aid. You know, I hate this, I don't mind speaking, but I hate this acknowledgement shit. Like, it's you guys, it's not me. I just keep showing up. That's the difference between me and some people, is I've been coming here for a long, long time, right? People know when they walk in a meeting, they're gonna see me, because I'm there, right? I have a, excuse me, I have a disciplined routine, and that's what works for people like us. You know, this isn't we don't do caps and gowns around here. Like, you don't reach a point where you're all set, I got enough information, right? That happens to a lot of us. This community in general are overachievers, right? So we come in here and we get our life back quick. You know, we clean up, we get a job, we get the guy, we get the girl, we get the apartment, we get a couple pairs of kicks, and we think we're all set. And we stop coming. And we get high. Some of us don't make it back. You know what I mean? Like, this thing requires attendance. Like, when I woke up this morning, my only opponent was looking at me in the mirror. Like, I'm the only one that can F this up. Nobody can take this from me but me, right? So, I participate in a disciplined routine. I go to 4 meetings a week. I have a sponsor. I do step work every other Tuesday night. I don't leave my house without praying, and I don't go to sleep without giving thanks. It's that simple. Someone told me years ago, grandma's recipe. Don't put one in you. Go to meetings, get a sponsor, do step work, and help the next person through the door. That's all you gotta do. Recovery's hard. Using's hard. Recovery's pretty simple. The problem is people like me complicate it. It's an unsatisfiable desire for more of everything. People think it's about the substance. I ain't used a substance in a long time, and I still want more. I have a beautiful wife. I want her and a girlfriend. I like for them to get along.
Tell the truth, Franny. Tell the truth.
You know what I mean? I have a nice home. I want a bigger one.
Yep.
Right? It's just this unsatisfiable desire for more. So coming here and continuing in this process gives me balance. And it lets me know that I'm just kidding myself. You know, Chief, thank you. I attend that criminal justice mental health meeting every month, and it's amazing. These guys do a lot, and you don't see it on the media. You don't, none of that shit. They're just out there doing it. It wasn't like that when my father was a Lynn police officer. 33 years he was a cop. Back in them days, they threw you in a cruiser and took you to detox. Right now, we got a whole community.
Yeah.
We got aftercare. Massachusetts is the place. I've been to meetings in 28 states and 3 different countries, and nobody does it like Massachusetts, and Lynn in particular. Right? I call Lynn, the fellowship in Lynn, Mecca. Right? Love and compassion. All your foolishness and bullshit, bring it. Bring it. We'll help you sort through the contradiction and confusion of early recovery. It's hard. You know, people think you stop using drugs and that's it.
I did.
Biologically, you are scrambled, right? You've been synthetically stimulating your brain for years and years and years, and then you just cut it off, and your brain's like, what the fuck? Right? This process helps us walk through that stuff. We got to show up. The problem is people don't want to be consistent. You know what I mean? I go home, the wife's cooking dinner. I don't want to go tonight. And that happens to me a lot. I don't want to go tonight, but I go because I know what happens to people who don't go. I don't want to be there. I'm 71 years old. I can't hop them fences no more. Like I can't. I ain't outrunning you anymore.
I can't help them either. So.
It's not happening. You know what I mean? So this is a nice life. It's not always a challenge. I retired years ago. I went back to work in treatment. The guy that I sponsor owns a treatment facility. Excuse me. I had a client say to me the other day, like, why are you like always just so peaceful? Like, what do you do? I said, it's an attitude. It's not a series of events. You know what I mean? Like, what's happening? It's not an amount of money or a good-looking maid, or it's none of that. It's an attitude, right? I learned that here. They told me a long time ago, a grateful heart will never use. That's right. I'm an addict. My name is Randy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Just want to share a little bit. Back in '91, you guys started this.
Actually, the Surrender is the Key group started in the youth center.
Yep.
I don't think it was 1991. It was around 2000. Oh, wait a minute. It's coming up on 96. It was 1996. That's exactly when it was.
So the men's meeting was 91?
I know the men's meeting was 2000, but we didn't start that here. We started that at Spin on the Commons, right?
The 96 was...
Shout out. I'll tell you, that knockathon thing, I was panicking. Because we have hundreds of people who come to that event with no place else to go. Right? We feed them, we love them up, we sit there and listen to their silliness, right? And make them feel comfortable. It's extremely important that that happens. My first year, I got clean in October. The Thanksgiving knockathon was like weeks later. My wife, because now I'm clean, invites the whole family to our house for Thanksgiving. I'm panicking because I've been lying to these people and robbing and stealing from them for years. I spent 7 hours in that knockathon because I felt safe. Right? There were people there. There's a line in our literature that says, we greet each other with a recognition reserved for survivors of the same nearly fatal catastrophe. I come from a big Italian loving family. Caught father, powerful guy. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. You know, it was have another meatball, you know, relax, blah, blah, blah. I had to come to this group of people who were uniquely qualified, right? So giving us a venue to make that happen You know, everyone's panicking about the youth center getting torn down. I said, they'll hook us up. We'll end up somewhere. We'll end up like we're on the damn lawn. We'll end up somewhere. The Y is not going to put us ass out. It's not happening. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes our program of the Fifth Annual Walking. DJ Love is